Hello, everyone. Hello. So, before we get started, I'm waiting for everybody to pop in to my little queue here. Before we get started, Brittany had a family issue. So, like a family, not like an emergency. I don't want to alarm people, but something happened and she was not able to attend, which is okay. And I'll tell you why. A couple of things. One, when I originally was doing this podcast, it was because I loved what the main cast, the core cast had to share because they're the only I watched all of the cast interviews and interactions, and it was that core group that actually shared some spoilers. So I wanted to take what they said and see if we can make some predictions and how we feel about it. And then I was like, you know what? I would love to have Brittany and the girls on. So it was funny because I talked to Bryce about it. And Bryce, if you're on our one fan page, I think it's when calls the heart on Hallmark. He often shares a lot, and he's been a guest of mine before, and he got to go to the reunion. And here he befriended Brittany, which is so cool. So he helped me connect. And we're gonna have them on next week. Um, uh Bryce couldn't make it this week anyway, but he can definitely make it next week. He's got all kinds of photos. So we're going to make a thing of it next week. And we'll just solely for tonight. I hope I'm not disappointing anyone. It's something to look forward to. And it was kind of a thing that happened. She did not tell me last minute. Brittany was very professional and she told me late last week, but I had already changed the thumbnail twice. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to write it out. I'll tell everybody tonight. They'll be back next week or on next week, and we'll share all the goodies that they had. But for tonight, I really wanted to focus on these little tidbits that we can glean because I found them to be quite interesting. I really did. So, is there anyone here that went to the Hearties reunion this year? I see there's quite a few of you here that have been in the past. Like I know Lillian's been, and Martha has been, but I don't know who went this time that might be here or not. Oh, look, everybody's saying hello. Lillian's here. Just giving everybody a minute. Hi, Jean. Jean is here. Yes, anybody who is in the path of that terrible storms. I have friends and family. I already contacted all of them this morning because they're all over Florida, East Coast, West Coast, kind of like in the middle. And I even have friends that are in Louisiana and, just contacting them all. If anybody's there, please be safe. I'll be praying for all of you. Okay. Let's see. Reggie, you went. Are you here, Reggie? I don't know if she's here. You know what I mean? I don't know who is here that went. But anyway, let's dive into this. Hopefully you had an opportunity to see it was being streamed live. And if you have Instagram and you didn't realize this and you went to the When Calls the Heart, it says When Calls the Heart TV Instagram page. It's the official page of the Hearties, and they post all kinds of goodies. And they had the kiddos on, they had the littles on. That was adorable. They had the core cast, and then they had I even hate saying core cast and secondary cast. Then there are just so many of them. Then they had the second cast that came on, which was Viv and Natasha and Loretta and that whole crew there, which was nice. But like I said, it was Erin and that crew that actually shared some cool stuff with us. So I want to hear your insights and I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling too. Although we have found that we can no longer predict because wild things happen, in these past 2 years, and that's okay. So when Pascal was sharing, she was saying that Rosemary and Bill will get to work together again and they'll want to work together. And they've got a really big mystery this season that they're trying to solve. Now, I know they kind of thought of it like a big mystery last season of who shot Lucas, which I kind of thought was a bit redundant. And you know my feelings on it because I've shared, because it was always who shot him, and we never could get anywhere until the last few minutes. I hope that this big mystery that's supposed to be a big one that I think is supposed to cover the whole season is a little more intricate and a little more challenging to solve. And what do you all think it might be? What would you think would be the big mystery that Pascal gal was talking about saying that Bill and Rosemary had to, I don't know, had to figure out. I heard Brittany, um, I heard that Brittany lived in, I'm sorry, I heard that Brittany lived in Tampa Bay. She might have had to leave. Yes, but Wanda, this is true, but she told me before the hurricane came that she wouldn't be able to. I just didn't have a chance to like say she wasn't and change the thumbnail again. So that's what happened there. So, are you going, let's see, are they going to solve where Lucas lives? Cindy, wasn't that great? I have that marked down when they were asking Chris, like, where does he live? And then the cast cracked me up because they don't even know where each other lives. They're like, oh, we don't really know where anyone lives. That's not true. On that stage, we knew where everybody lives, including Bill, but we did not know where Chris lived. He's the only one, well, not Chris, Lucas. He is the only one. We've never seen his house and we don't know where he's lived because although we've never been inside of Bill's house, there was that time in season 10 when was it 10 or was it 11? 10 in season 10 when they are in the cafe and the girls are talking, girls being Molly and I think Minnie was even in there and they were laughing because she could see, now we know Molly lives in a row home, she could see Bill's uh skivvies or not his undies, his bathing suit and stuff hanging on the laundry line, and they were laughing about it. So he must live in one of the row homes or close to the row homes. But there's not even a hint of where this Lucas Bouchard lives, which I find funny. Let's see. Chris, let's see, let's go up here. Nikki, who is Brittany? Brittany was at the she's one of the a Hardy. She was at the reunion, and she and her cousins made a cutout of Lucas Bouchard. And when it was time for Chris to talk, he saw it and he got on the they called them up to stage and took pictures and he thanked them and stuff. It was cute. That's who Brittany is. And she's going to come on and talk about her experience, which is going to be exciting. And I hope she is able to come on next week. And Bryce will be joining us too, which is always fun. Yes, that was great when he said it, right? And Nikki thinks that he stole the show again. I don't know. I thought Kevin, well, he did with, they brought him something. I thought Kevin kind of stole the show that time. Cindy, I don't think that's a big deal. Yes, that was great when he said that. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that that's a big deal. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm late. No, you're not, Sandy. Hi, Jan. Chris absolutely stole the cast panel. Okay. You girls are funny. I thought they all were, you know what I walked away from that, well, figuratively, how much they really enjoy each other and how much they're there for each other, all of them. And that's nice. And even Jack Wagner, he got choked up about it. When he was trying to explain how, they asked him who's a character that you would like to have come on or an actor that you would love to have come on, because he gets all these really cool, actors and that interact with him and characters. And he said, I just love everybody that's here. I've been doing this, what did he say, 40 some years, 42 years. And I thought that was really nice. That was nice that they said that. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Avis. Chris was the highlight of that panel. He stole the show, and then getting his cardboard cutout, I think, overshadowed the others. I did not have that feeling at all. I really enjoyed what all of them had to say. And that was not my perspective at all on that. Maybe Bill lives above the mayor's office. I think Henry lived there once. No, Bill does not. And I'll tell you why we know he doesn't, because Kathy and I had one of my favorite podcasts where I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. And it won't come out funny now, but I remember there was a scene where they were, meeting all of they were trying to figure out the Weinman thing, and they were meeting in the chambers, and it got late and Bill wasn't feeling well. And Lucas says, how about I give you a ride home? And I said, what, a piggyback ride? Was he going to put him on his back and go up the steps? And I thought he always lived upstairs, and here he didn't. He got into Lucas's car and they drove off. And then, like I said, this past season before this one, Molly was talking about how she could see Bill's laundry hanging on the line. So he must be neighbors with her, and she lives in a row home. So you're hopeful for season 12. Okay. You think the mystery might have anything to do with Nathan? I don't know, maybe, but it's supposed to be a big one. And maybe, but I'm also thinking that I remember Erin saying that they like to reinvent things. They're trying to reinvent the show. And this is what she said at the reunion. So I kind of got the feeling that it would be a storyline that isn't necessarily so connected with like a particular storyline, like the main character of Lucas, how they were trying to solve a mystery because it had to do with who shot him. I feel like it might be in and of itself, not that it's not related to the people of Hope Valley, not that at all, but I don't know. That's just the vibe I got. That's just my opinion. I'm just curious to see what others. So Lucy's thinking maybe Nathan, because we do know that there's something that goes down with the way they had the cliffhanger about what happened with I guess Jack and his death, right? So maybe I think Bill and Rosemary's mystery will involve something with the Hargraves. Okay. All right. So you mean the Mountie and his family? And Nikki says, "Oh, thank you. That cutout was priceless, as was Chris's response. It was. It was cute. Yeah, I loved it. I meant finding out where Lucas lives. I know. I really hope, Jan, that we do. I think that's funny. Let's see, Nikki. I thought Aaron and Kevin were all wrapped up in themselves as usual, trying too hard to sell their love story. Not a vibe that I got. I was surprised. I thought how much they kind of like downplayed it. And I love that every character, every actor there had two questions because they put two in and they pulled out for each other. And they all got equal time because everyone had two questions. Even though Kevin kept saying he had more than everybody else, that wasn't true. Let's see. Hi, greetings, Joel. Joel. Hi. Kathy, I saw a couple of clips, but they all looked so happy and positive. They were. Yes. Yes, and of course, we always love his impressions. Okay, so let's get back to like this prediction. What could this mystery be? Anyone? That's what I'm curious. The actual I'm talking about the predictions tonight. The actual what happened and all the other good stuff will happen the next time when my other guests come on. So the other thing that I found interesting that Pascal said, and I was like, this is really interesting. They were asking, the question was, will Rosemary still be the truth seeker, right? Which is a nice way of saying, will you still be Miss Nosy and Pushy? And she goes, well, I wouldn't be Rosemary if I wasn't. Like, she owns it. And she was saying that what's interesting is that she will be seeking the truth like she usually does. She has a new endeavor. She said, with the newspaper, with being an investigative reporter with Bill, but then she has another type of endeavor. And I'm like, what is it? Is it like undercover work or something? What do you think the other way of going about being a truth seeker would be? I thought that was kind of cool. I know there's like a lag. So I'm really curious I really haven't seen anybody's ideas other than maybe it has to do with Kevin's storyline, Nathan's storyline. And what do you think would be her other endeavor of seeking truth? Besides being a newspaper reporter and besides being an investigative, like almost like a PI, what would the other one be? I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I was thinking that what if something's going on with Lucas, something political, and they kind of need like maybe she does something like undercover. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Goes undercover and she loves being an actress and playing a part, or I don't know. I thought that might be kind of cool. That's just an idea I have. All right, let's see what some of these people what you're saying here. When Kevin asked Chris what would he stop. No, I know, Lillian. We asked Chris what he would tell a season 6 Lucas. Chris said not to fall in love, and the look on Aaron's face was priceless. The whole audience roared. Oh, that was good. I know, but we're not talking about that tonight. Let's see. Let's see what Avis has to say. Maybe the mystery is finding all the parents of the you people. You know what? I'm serious here. Nikki, remember that podcast? We laughed so hard with Jump on His Back. It was just so funny. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, maybe they're trying to find out what the real cause of Jack's death was. Very good, Jan. Because maybe it'll come up that it wasn't an accident. Oh. Yes. Let's see. I thought maybe we don't know the whole story with Jack and Nathan. Maybe. Okay. But I don't think I know there's going to cause angst. They said this between Nathan and Elizabeth, but not really, not something that's supposed to break that relationship. I think it's supposed to actually make it come stronger. But Carrie, will the mystery involve Melissa Gilbert's character? I don't know, but let's talk about that. Something else that was said. So, and again, what would be that surprise? What's that surprise endeavor that you think she could have, meaning Rosemary? And then let's skip over to something Erin had shared. Erin said one of the things she said was there are new characters, and we definitely know that Gilbert is going to be a new character. I think she's on for about 2 episodes. Correct me if I'm wrong. And she is linked to somebody, one of the characters on the show. I don't know if it's a past character or a current character, but she has some kind of a link. And right away, people were saying maybe she's going to play the mother of Nathan. And I don't think that's what it is. I'm wondering who it is, what her link is and what could her mystery possibly be. But here's the thing. Unless she doesn't come into the very end, this mystery that Bill and Rosemary work on is supposed to be, I think, encompass the whole storyline, basically 12 episodes. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Something to do with Melissa Gilbert being brought in connected with Bill. Okay. Jean, great things think alike. Let's see. I don't think so. That would be going against his character that he didn't help him. I don't actually think so because that he's supposed to be a good guy. That would make him not a good guy. He wasn't there. We know that. I don't think it's a change in the storyline that way. And Lucy, you think 2 episodes? Good. That's good. And Melissa did say she did spend most of her time with Bill. So I don't know. Is the connection Bill? That wouldn't be surprising because Bill's character always gets some cool, outside characters that come in and play some cool parts. That's great. Maybe she's an investigative reporter. Maybe she is a lawyer, a judge or something. I don't know. I think that will be cool. I'm excited because I love Melissa Gilbert and I love that she's going to be on. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see, Arlene. Maybe Rosemary hears from other newspaper editors that a businessman is trying to blackball his authority as a governor through slanderous writing, possibly the connection with Mr. Smith's group. Oh, and that's like a mystery that they're trying to resolve. Could be. Let's see, Lillian. Is there a link with Melissa's character? It better be quick. Isn't she only there for 2 episodes? Yes, she is. That's why I'm saying if she's part of that big mystery, then I would think she'd come in towards the end of the season, unless she's there for something totally different. She could be like a catalyst with information that makes that mystery storyline move on or go ahead. I don't know. Let's see. Could she be the long lost relative of Bill's? Maybe like his sister. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going so fast here with all of your ideas, which I love. Um, yes, Lucy. No matter what, Nathan is a good guy, and he is. He is a good guy. They would not be like that he didn't help. Gosh, no, that would be terrible. Let's see. Um, You think she's Bill's love interest? Bill needs a love interest? Oh, they've been saying that forever. And he's had so many little love interests along the way when they come on. So many characters that have popped in and out. I could think of off the top of my head. I think, well, after the main character, I think there was two that I can think of, right? Sounds like Melissa's character has already filmed. So it sounds like you're right. Maybe she would be in the first part of the season unless they film out of order. And sometimes they do, but not too much. That's only when they have to do like a Christmas thing or back and forth. Very good, Christine. Good thinking. So maybe she's like a catalyst that kind of moves the story along for the mystery. I don't know. Let's see. I thought it would have to be good for Brooke Shields to return as Jack's mother. You don't think she's taking over the role? No, 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 no. They wouldn't do that. No, no, they're not. They wouldn't replace it with someone else. Yes, Nikki says they need to bring back AJ. She and Bill were great together. They were. They were. Maybe somebody is still trying to take out Lucas. Oh, that would be redundant. I hope not, Martha. And be a relative of AJ's, maybe. I'm hoping a new character visiting would be Lucas's father. That would be cool because it's more than just Melissa's character. There are other characters that are new that we'll be seeing. So, and yes, yep. The cliffhanger is Lee going to Capital City with Lucas. That's where I'm wondering maybe that would cause some issues, marital issues, a little angst between the married couple. One is there, one is back. I don't know. That would be cool. Um, she said she had a role that wasn't a normal woman's role. So this is why, Sandy, I was thinking she's something powerful, right? Or something the word went right out of my head. You know, when you're a bounty hunter. What if she's a bounty hunter? That could help with and be linked with Bill, right? And doing something that way. That would be cool. Janice says, I doubt it, but maybe Nathan was with Jack during the accident and just was unable to help. No, I don't think so because they've gone through that storyline, and I do not think he said many a times he's never met him. So I don't think that they would lie about that. I don't think they would go through all of that again. And yes, he is a good guy, and I hope this is resolved early. Kathy, I don't think that that storyline is going to have anything to do with Nathan not being a good guy. I think it's just the storyline and the hurt and everything of it coming up. Maybe she is a judge, Cindy. Maybe that would be good. Yeah. Maybe she was someone who tried to help Jack when he got hurt. Maybe. A bounty hunter would be cool for a woman. Yes, that's what maybe that is. And that's how the path traces somebody to somewhere, works with Bill and Rosemary, and it moves the storyline on. I don't know. I think it's cool. Okay, so again, I don't know what Rosemary's other part could be, but this is what I hope it is. I hope it's that she goes undercover, like spy, like she's a spy. And she's working for someone, not just her newspaper. Like they go because they know she has acting skills. So maybe they have her go in and she's undercover and spies on something. Maybe because something goes down in Capital City and Lee is there, and although I don't know that Lee would want to put her in harm's way, but he knows how she is. And he's there with Lucas, and there's something that they need, and like for her to spy on. I think that would be cool. I don't know. I hope they hear me, Lindsay. You hear me? Do you think she is head of the? Oh my gosh. That would be so cool if she was in charge of the Mounties and has information on Jack's death. Robin, I love it. I don't know, but that would be really cool. And Jennifer says, I think Hargraves being there is just a bump in the road for Elizabeth and Nathan. And I agree with you. I agree. All right. So I'm sorry. I want to bring up something else that Erin said. So, Erin also said that there was going to be conflict, and the conflict was within the, and I felt like I don't know, I felt like it would be a male kind of conflict. There was conflict within, the characters themselves. And she said it would be edgy. Of course, it's resolvable, but it was going to be like an edgy conflict, like people really like at each other. Do you remember when there was the whole mayoral um thing going on, and how Lee was kind of mean in his newspaper towards um why did his name go out of my head? All I can think of is Ben, but it's Mike. And towards Hickam, and he needed a talking to from Rosemary. That's not the kind of edgy mean I think she was saying. I think that there's going to be some kind of conflict of some sort brewing, and that's different because usually to me the conflict is not so edgy. So when she's saying they're reinventing the storylines, I'm curious to see, well, what they might think is edgy. Sometimes it's not edgy for us, but I thought that was interesting if anybody has any ideas. Now, the other thing, this is really, these are two things. There would be the idea of what could Rosemary be doing to seek truth is very intriguing to me. The other thing that I thought was there's two more things I find super intriguing. And that is that Erin said every year they give her nuggets of like good acting and things that she loves to work on. And she said that this season they gave her two versions. You will see two new versions of Elizabeth that you've never seen before. And I'm like, wow, two very different versions. And I'm thinking, what could those versions be? Now I have some ideas. One was a little too spicy, but I'll talk about it. I want to see what you're all saying first before I share, and it gives you a chance to share. Nikki says, and Nikki, I think I'm going to come back to this. I'm wondering how big of a storyline Lucas will have this year, which makes me sad. I'm fearful that it will focus on N and E, and it looks like Mike and may be promoted as well. And I want Lucas. I think they all got a storyline. It sounded like it was packed with all kinds of goodies. Yes, Jan. You said that Lee goes to Capital City and she just decides to help, being the personality she has. Yes, yes, yes. I really wanted to see more of Rosemary and Bill being detectives, so more mystery would be fun. Yes, Kathy, that is something that was just magical. Those two are fantastic scene partners. They talked about it on the panel, and how they would just go over things together and go over things together. I mean, I love it. They really are good. It was something that they could have done a long time ago. Nobody ever thought of it until recently, and it's one of my favorite things. So this is going to be good. And I remember that Pascal was saying, and this time, it's not reluctant. He wants her to be his partner, and I like that. Rosemary undercover would be so much fun. I know, Sarah. Oh my God, that's what I'm hoping it is. And if it isn't this season, I hope they hear us and they put it in next season. Let's see. I keep hearing Erin said, and I think how we've been misled before. No, I don't, not with this. They were already midway filming. So I don't, there would be no misleading with that. They were stopped midway, and she's talking about what has happened this season. Let's see. If you think about this, when she was doing if you're talking about being misled, if you think about when she was doing the promotion, and there wasn't a lot of it for season 10, Erin Krakow, the only thing she ever said was Elizabeth goes through it this season. She really goes through it. She didn't say anything else. So they were kind of tight-lipped. So it wasn't that she misled anybody on that one. She didn't lead anyone on that one. Maybe it will. And Erin only said a couple of things. I picked out a few of what she said because she kind of recapped everything. Like I said, Pascal gave us tidbits, and I'm going to talk about another thing that she said. All the jobs that Rosemary's had, who takes care of Goldie? Well, Martha, she does. She's a working mom, just like many moms are. And I love that she's right nearby. And I love that they put that daycare right next to her at her fingertips. So she's there. Laura's dad is supposed to have an interesting storyline. Wow, I missed that, Gladys. Where was that said? Where did they share that? I'm interested in that because I know it wasn't during the panel with the main cast. I didn't pick it up on the others. Where'd you hear that? That's interesting. Please share. Come back in the comments and let us know so that I can go look it up and see what it is. That'll be cool. Maybe E and Lucas have a conflict over something with little Jack or Allie. Maybe E and L, you mean Nathan? Elizabeth and Nathan. Okay. Over little Jack or Allie. Maybe. But I don't think that's the conflict she was talking about. And she said that she was excited for this season because they had some really great family moments where she has some really great scenes and moments with Aaron and Elizabeth and Allie do, and so does Nathan with little Jack. So I'm not sure. I know what you meant, Cindy. I know. So I'm curious about these two different versions of Elizabeth that Erin is pointing out that she said she's never seen before. So I'm wondering if one could be, they've never had her as jealous. What if she becomes really jealous, like super jealous? Or what if she becomes a true, like, busybody, a big gossip? Because she's not like that either. Or the other thing I was thinking of is what if she becomes like very romantic, like always wanting the romance and trying to plan romantic things and look romantic because the woman's been so suppressed forever, apparently, and she's letting it all out with Nathan. You know what I mean? And Nathan's too busy saving the day in the town and finally doing Mountie stuff, I hope. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what versions of her. I mean, we've seen her angry and aggressive when she's got an idea and wants something, but we've never truly seen her jealous. We've never seen her very we don't use the sex word on this show, but we never saw her very, I don't know. You know how Rosemary was fanning herself and putting herself out there. Maybe she will. Maybe she'll get that bug. I don't know. I'm curious. Wait a minute. I see Carrie. Great idea. Carrie always has good ideas. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, Carrie. Elizabeth now has to be a teacher to her own son and maybe can't handle it. Or maybe becomes like too defensive and not objective about her kiddo. I like that. I like my idea of her being a little bit of a tart. Also, Molly has an interesting storyline. Okay, Gladys, I would like to know where you're getting this. I want to know where Molly's interesting storyline is, and I want to know where the what's the other storyline? Molly's, and you said who's dad? Laura's dad, right? Okay. Robin, I think she will jump right into the relationship with Nathan, and it may not now be fast moving, and it may now be fast moving, which will be different, which would be very different from last season. Oh, that's true, but I mean, she said her version of her was different, so I was getting all excited. And I love the idea that you have, Carrie. I do. People are agreeing with you, so we've got a whole bunch of new best friends here. I heard that too about Laura's dad, but I can't remember where. All right. Interview with Brian Bird and Lindsay on Heart to Heart. Okay. Gladys, when was that? That would be cool. Other people might want to see it. Was it it can't be recent. So was it like at the very end of, like a recap of season 11? That's interesting. Okay. So I guess if you wanted to hear more, Molly's going to have a storyline, which I love. Joanna, she's such a gorgeous woman inside and out. And also, they apparently Laura's dad. Okay. Let's see. Maybe another wedding this season for E and N, as then the storylines would definitely make a big change for Elizabeth. Maybe, but the comment, Robin, that Erin made was she said that she was looking forward to like marital bliss and all kinds of stuff and family and happiness for her, which I've heard Brian Bird say if that ever happens, the show ends. But then Pascal went and got the microphone and said, wait a minute, you'd need a wedding first. And then Erin looks to the side and said, was this question because they asked her a question about what she was looking forward to or would like, and she's like, isn't this beyond season 12 too? And they're like, yeah. So yes, she was jealous of Jack and Faith. Gladys, a little tiny bit. You know what I mean? And I don't mean like a little thing. That's normal. But I mean like jealous, how Rosemary went off her noodle and got all jealous. I'm thinking maybe I don't know. We just never saw that. I'm not saying that's what it is. I was just trying to think of what we never saw. Yeah. You know what, Jan? So would I. So would I. And again, Catherine, she wasn't really jealous of Rosemary in the first season. Not really. She actually, I thought, was kind of good to her because Rosemary was downright rude and evil. So I saw more of that with Rosemary than with that character. She wasn't to me very much like crazy. I fear they're setting up another fizzle out of a storyline because Kevin said he would like to see something just follow through for once. Maybe the state park idea crashes too. You know, I don't. I heard him say that, and everybody started laughing. And then he goes, "But I don't mean it in a bad way." And then Chris said something to Kevin. He goes, "How's the woodworking?" He goes, "See, that's what I mean." And I think it was like you have like Lee interested in the newspaper, and then all of a sudden he's not. And then you have Lee um uh in the sawmill, and then we don't see that. And then you have Lee who is wanting to do woodwork, and that goes away. Then we have Lee who has a whole family, and we don't see them anymore. So you know how they do things like that, or we're going to have the infirmary, and that doesn't happen. I think that kind of, I loved it when he said that, to be honest with you. But in all honesty, there's been different showrunners, and that's happened with many different showrunners, not just one. But I thought that was great. I loved when he said that. Erin said it would be steamy this year. She did say it would be steamy, which I think is cool. So she said steamy. She put a whole list of things. And then someone said, I think it was maybe Jack, who wants to see Kevin without a shirt again? And then they were laughing about that. And Kevin was just taking it all in stride, the poor guy. And she said, how many of you in here have read a romance? When she's like, oh, and she goes, well, so she's kind of equating this new season to a romance novel. Interesting. Something else she said. There's going to be a new developing romance. Who in the world's going to have a new developing romance? That's what she said. So I'm like, wow, well, let's see. Who could it be? Could it be Molly? She's still single. Could it be Lucas? He's still single. I'm not saying they're together. Could it be Faith? I don't think they're going to do that, but she's still single. Who else is single? I mean, we are pairing up everybody here. And I have to be honest with you. If Molly's going to have a new romance, I want it to be a different character that we've never met before. If Faith's going to have a new romance, I want it to be somebody we've never met before. I don't care if it's her old fiance that dumped her and he's changed his ways and he comes back. I'll take it. Or if it's Lucas, whole new character we've never met before. And by the way, I think somebody needs to go run the barber shop, and I think that would be fun to come in. All right, let's see. Yes, a recap of season 11. Finally, I saw it. Thank you, Sarah. So that's great. Okay, so I'm glad Molly's going to get like a storyline. Okay, or is it a romance? A romance? I don't know. I remember that in an interview after 11 ended, but forgot who the interview was with about Laura's dad. Minnie, we just figured it out, which is great. That would be cool. All right. So, it could Elizabeth get jealous of Lucas if he brings home a girlfriend? Yeah, because she's kind of in control of that, right? Her heart wasn't broken, his was. And then maybe she feels a little tinge of not being the center of everyone's attention, Maybe that would be kind of cool. Yes, Elizabeth being more jealous would be fun. Me too, Jen. There's been no Mountie stuff. Yes. I think they could definitely do more action scenes. Yes. I agree with you. I agree with you. So I think it would be really cool. Um, let's see. What do you think the storyline will be for Lucas this year? Will Henry still be on his team? I'm sure Henry's still on his team. He's got Lee on his team too. I don't know what I can't predict that at all because they are tight-lipped and they really didn't say anything. The only thing that was said what that kind of gave me an idea that some positive things were on the horizon is when they asked Chris what he would like for his storyline in the future, and he said, "I finally got to dig my teeth into like Lucas, working out some big issues and like a gritty kind of a storyline." And he said he got to the hill now. He wants to see what happens over the other side. So I think that maybe we're going to see some happy times, some good things. So I'll see. Is it true they got another new writer? Um, okay, so Martha, I'm not sure, but I can say this. They do have some new people on. Now, don't forget that they lost, sadly, a director, right? And they do have some new people on. They have on Jen, and I'm not sure if her husband's involved or he just happened to be there, but they are from Railtown. They have the Railtown Acting Studio, and John is her husband, and he is, like a producer. Does he direct? But she's there. She's also there on the set. So they do have some new people when it comes to directing and behind the scenes. I don't know about the writing. I'm not sure. Let's see. Lillian and Carrie, I would love to see E jealous of Elle. I know that would be fun. Like, not because she made the mistake or whatever, because we know that's not happening. She's very happy with her heart's desire, as they say. But what I think it might be that like, you're not the attention. Like she was in the driver's seat. I'm done. I don't want you. He's the one brokenhearted. She wants to still be his friend, but she was all about falling in love and her man and kissing a potato and all that good stuff. So I like it to that idea, right? Like, oh, somebody else, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what's here. Do you think she may have conflict with Allie on how Ian N's relationship moves ahead and then little Jack questioning her relationship change with Lucas to Nathan? No, I don't think that little Jack will question the Lucas to Nathan. They will not put that in the storyline because they've already sealed that and moved on. And that might be something people hope and wish for, but that if that happened, I would think it was weird. Weird that they went that way. Um, I don't know about Allie and Elizabeth and Nathan's relationship. Maybe like some things along the way. There's always hiccups with blended families, but I don't just not the vibe I got when she said that there was edgy conflict. To me, that's not edgy. Edgy is when it's serious, like two men, going at it, or two women. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I like a real hurtful battle kind of thing, and then figuring it out along the way. Um, Jack, the new Georgie. Jack with the new Georgie. Hmm, maybe. I don't know. Yes, she did say that. What about Jack with Melissa Gilbert's new character? I don't know that she said a new developing romance, which makes me think it's not someone, when AJ was on and there was a cute little whatever romance between Jack and AJ for a few minutes and off. And then that whole feelings he had for forgot her name. It went out of my head with the whole water stealing and the land and everything in season 10. Madeline. I don't think it was like that. I think it's something that's permanent. It's like something that has to do with one of the main cast members. Allie and Robert, maybe, but I thought it was mature. Is Fiona back for season 12? Nikki, I'm not sure. And if she were, because she's extremely busy, it would be like a pop-in, and they're good like that. Yeah. Yes. Robert, the new barber. I know that would be funny. Yeah. Maybe Molly and Laura's dad. Maybe. Maybe that could be. Um, do you think they're of the same age? I feel like maybe Molly is older than Laura's dad. I could be wrong. I don't know. Yes, Lillian, I think that would be fun to see E jealous of L. And yeah. Let's see. Oh, I forgot about Henry. Could be Allie in a relationship, or maybe Henry. He is single. Maybe. But I feel like they wouldn't do that to Henry because they tease and dance that whole how he's in love and has feelings for um I know, we Abigail. What about Henry and Molly? No, that'd be too weird. No. Henry is single. I did forget him, and thank you for saying that. Yes. Who knows? Maybe when Henry is in Capital City, there's a new character that comes in for him. Maybe. I don't know. I would love to see the romance for Molly, though. Right? I would love that. Yes, Robert becoming the new barber. Yeah. All right. Let's see. She is happy. However, you never really forget about previous relationships. Yes, and jealousy would be a bit fun. I'm feeling the same way too. Oh yes, Martha, you did. That was so nice. You went to the rail town in Vancouver when Chuck and I were up there for a couple of days ago, and we found it, but they were closed that day. Oh, okay. And I know that they're on set. I'm not making that up. And the reason why I know that is I actually like was messaging back and forth with Jen. That's how I know that. So I asked her a question because we set up, for those of you that don't know this, but I think most of you do, we set up a as a my words, I'm tired, for Chris's birthday, Chris McNally, we do something in honor of him. So we do a scholarship. We did it last year and we're doing it again this year. And I wanted to talk to Jen to make sure everything that we did, if we can improve in some way or keep doing it the same way. And that's why we were talking back and forth. And that's how I know this. And then I thought, by the way, if you haven't donated and you feel like you would like to, that would be great. It's running up to the 8th, I think, right before Chris's birthday. So that would be great. It's a scholarship in his honor and it helps out. I loved it when Chris was on and he said, you'd be helping out someone like me. That was me. So that's a great thing. Let's see. Lucy, you would like for Lucas to get a love story this season. You know what? I wouldn't mind if he had a bit of a love story, but not like real fast. I want it to be something that just. We've seen so much of the character of Lucas has always been about being in love. And I mean, I like exploring other avenues of him and making his character be more meaty. And I hope that they do that this season coming up. I remember I was watching a podcast. I think it was the guys from the South, Deck the Hallmark, and they were like, "Where's Lucas's story? What's it going to be?" And I don't know. I don't know if any of us can think of where it's going to go. Let's see. Kathy, it was weird for E not to show jealousy with Lucas and Jeanette. E said it was a conscious decision, but it would be honest to show that emotion, just like life is sometimes messy. I agree. Yep. Yep. Georgie is someone from Bill's past. Okay. Could it be the Nathan feels he can tell LJ what to do or scold him and Elizabeth doesn't like it? Jan, that might happen, but again, she said it's an edgy conflict. It wasn't like, to me that's not edgy. I think it's something big. Maybe Lucas befriends and a past acquaintance of E while in Capital City, and E secretly can't stand her. Oh. Yes. Oh, maybe E's concerned about the new Georgie character with Bill's past. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. You love her character too. Yes. Yep. Right. Robert's always the best man for the job. He would be a great barber. I know. You donated. Thank you, Martha. That's wonderful. Um, Let's see. What is it, Nikki? I want a great story for Lucas. Me too. And a new love for him too. That's my wish for season 12. Okay. Let's see. I love your comment about Nathan scolding LJ. I'm sure stuff like that's going to go down. And but again, I'm sure, I'm not denying that. I just don't think that's the big thing. Okay, what was it? I wanted to cover there's a new developing romance. Things get steamy. I hope it's not just between Nathan and Elizabeth. I hope we see a lot of steamy. I hope we see, because we never see steamy in Rosemary and Lee's relationship. And not that they take each other for granted, but maybe they'll be separated and then they'll be like, "Oh, I love you, I miss you." And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I know that's just not their dynamic. I think I covered all the things that they had shared. Yeah, I did. Let's see what everyone else has to say, and then I'll wrap up and I'll tell you a couple little things. And this will be, oh, geez, we went an hour with this stuff. Do you go into, okay, Martha, do you go into donations under the post? Yes. We have some posts. You can do this from anywhere. Christina posted, I posted some stuff for Railtown too. You go to and their link, you go to the link for Railtown and it says donation. It's dark, so you got to look. It's up at the top towards the right, and you click and you donate right there. The cool thing is, in order for them to tally for us, you have to say for Chris's birthday or the Chris McNally fan group or something like that. That's how they know. And they keep a tally for us and then they share and let us know. Last year we had over $6,000 raised. One of our biggest contributors was Tanya. You all know who Tanya is. She's great for her edits. You've seen her things. She was a big contributor. And we know that because she didn't mark it as anonymous and I'm giving away a secret. It's not like that. You can leave your name if you want, or you can say anonymous. Keep in mind that with your donation, there is money that's subtracted. So if you donate, I'm just putting this out there. If you donated $100, they really will not get all of the $100 because of the exchange in money. So some people do like 100 and something like extra to help with that exchange. But listen, you donate what you can. And if you can't donate anything monetarily, it's okay. Don't even worry about that. But this is what we're just doing. And whatever we collect is better than no money at all, So if you go, you could see some people's names already on there. And I do believe the first person to donate this time around for the birthday was Lillian. And thank you, Lillian. Okay, Martha, if Lucas gets a new love, it will outshine Elizabeth and the Mountie. So I don't think, I want to talk about this. I want to be extremely frank and serious about this. I don't think that the people of the show, being the directors, being the writers, being Brian Bird, I don't think that they think that would happen. But I'm not saying it wouldn't, because I have to tell you, sometimes certain actors just bring it and they don't mean you could give them the most basic, simple scene, but it's electric because the actor's electric. And if you're paired up with somebody that you have major chemistry with, like Erin and Chris do. I would love to see them do a Christmas movie or a Hallmark movie or something outside of Hallmark together. But anyway, those two together, like maybe Chris with another actress, if they could bring it and it wouldn't be intentional. And I don't think that the people, the powers that be, will call them, are back home saying, "Oh, we can't pair him up with anyone because it's going to outshine Nathan and Elizabeth." I think they believe that Nathan and Elizabeth is electric. That's their opinions. So I don't think they're afraid to do it. And that's why they won't give Lucas someone. I just feel like they're trying to give him, like, you look what happened with the Nathan story. He's a Mountie. He was in love with Elizabeth. Then that was it. Like they like, what happened? You got Lucas, who, even though he had storylines, his main thing was he was in love with Elizabeth. Where does that go? Right. So I'm not saying we couldn't think of where it could go. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to, from what they've said themselves. So they're trying to give him, all of the characters, something outside of being in love. And sometimes it falls flat for us as viewers You know what I mean? You can write something and in your head you think it's great as a writer, and then it just doesn't come across the screen. So my point is, if he doesn't get a love interest, I don't think it's because the powers that be think he will outshine anyone. Although he will. He's very charismatic, so his love's like interest is going to be a great storyline. But look at May and Hickam. I didn't know that I would fall in love with that. And not that they're like electric. They're just warm and fuzzy and just what you needed. I love that. I love that. Let's see. Maybe a new lady comes to town and Elizabeth kept seeing she and Nathan talking, nothing to it, but she gets jealous. It could be the jealousy could come in with Nathan because not listen, we know we've moved forward on this, okay? So she's so into him, right? And she's so in love with him and all excited, and any of the time that's not with her, like it could be that she's like, well, where are you, and I need you, and blah, blah, whatever. Chris is so funny. And at he really made us all laugh, and especially pretending to be Kevin. It was absolutely hilarious. Robin, you were there. I love that. Yes, I love it. What if Elizabeth gets into a fight with Rosemary? They've already been into a fight before. You mean like a fight fight? Robin says, I do hope we see a lot of the kiddos in school this year, as with little Jack being there. Elizabeth needs to be there with him. I know it's going to be fun. Yes. All right. How much has been donated so far? Nikki, I haven't counted. I haven't looked. I will. I do it. We do it monthly. So the first month of September. I'm not saying we did it the whole month, did we? But in the month of it was August we started. So early on. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's been a long week. A lot of data, 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 data. I feel like I'm a teacher. I don't want to write this data anymore. Let me teach. I don't have any. You never let me teach, and I got to collect data on what? Let me teach. But that's a different podcast and a different story. When I did it, it was like 475-ish of dollars, but that's me looking at one thing. Jen has a whole paper. She's very systematic. She does the books for Railtown. That's her job. She's in charge of all the finances, and she shows me everything. But from what I could judge, that's what it looked like. But I have not looked since then, and that was weeks ago, so I'm not sure. All right. Let's see. Robin says, such a great place to donate to for young actors coming up. Let's see. Oh, maybe separation for Rosemary and Lee will stop them doing that weird kiss. Steamy for them would be good. Yeah, like instead of just their little like kiss. Like that's what I said. I would like that. I would love that. Um Curry, you hope it's not just for Elizabeth and Nathan. Me too. That's what I just said. I want to see Steamy all around. Um yeah. Steamy for me sounded like it might be a hint at a literal train. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Yep. That's cute. Robin saying May and Hickam are so in love and have such respect for each other. And who would have thought? I know. It's really cute how that came about. I wish, did anybody ever, you know what? I wanted to have them on, but Taylor Albers just would not film any of my requests. I really wanted to have Ben and Amanda on, especially since I was like Amanda's like first interview when it came to When Calls the Heart. And she's a doll. And I would love to have them on, and maybe they've been on and you know the answer, you could tell me because I don't watch all of the other podcasts. I do, but not all. And I would like to know whose brainchild that was. Where did that come from? What a like random thing. And then you put it together. And I didn't think it was going to work, but it worked. It really worked. All right. Let's see, Avis. Maybe someone comes in saying they own all the land rights to all the land Hope Valley is on. Oh, and wants to claim it all, and every business has to pay them rent, taxes, etc., and the townspeople fight. Oh, all right. Um, oh, Cindy, thank you. Thank you. You're feeling my pain. I know. I know. I know. Nikki, you want to see some behind the scenes with Chris from season 12? We haven't seen behind the scenes from anybody. That's lockdown. We haven't seen a thing. Nothing. Nada. All right. Poor Andrea Faith, another season hiding behind things. I know, Arlene, but you know what? That is true, but and it's a happy thing for her. She's got baby number 3, in a growing family, which I love. I think that's great for her. But I know, and she even said that she even made a joke about it. Oh, Nikki Bill did good. I haven't had a chance to see what Jack did, but I have to tell you something funny. They were like saying, who is it likely to leak information on their social media account, and everybody pointed to Jack Wagner, and he has in the past leaked some stuff and then tried to make it go away, or didn't realize what was in the background and gave away the one of the biggest things he did was he gave, when he was trying to show his expert skills on a horse, he gave away what the ice cream shop was going to be. Oh, I'll never forget that. But anyway, it's okay. It's all good. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Next week, we're going to have our friends on that were actually there and share some pictures and some other things that they know about. And I wanted to mention that there's 3 major characters, which you probably already know, from When Calls the Heart that have Christmas movies. Chris's is the first one. It appears on it premieres on October 19th. We got all kinds of fun things planned for that. Kevin is in another one. I think his is this next one, but I don't think his is on the Hallmark Channel. I think his is on the Movies and Mysteries. Aaron has one also. And guess what? It's a former cast member. You all know that. We've been listening and looking at that. And Julie Gonzalo has one too. Hers is November the 21st. It comes out on Thursdays. If it's the Hallmark and Movies and Mystery Channel, it's Thursdays. So because they do 3 on the Hallmark Channel, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Kathy and I choose one and we review it. And we have people on, and lots of times it's the people that are, directors. And it's great when we do it after the review is after, because then they could talk about stuff and then it excites people to watch, the repeats of it. So this is a hectic time. And we're going to start with Chris's, and I'll do this solo for the 2 in October because Kathy is abroad. She's going to be over in Europe and won't be back until November or the very end of October, I think. Okay. Billy posted a picture of himself in the barbershop. Yay. Jack, Kevin, and Pascal did their little Mountie Tuesday song. Cool. Thank you, Roxanne. You are welcome. Looking forward to next week. Yay. What is Julie in? The name? Okay, Robin, hold on. It's such a cute name. And we're going to go all over social media for her. We got a campaign that we're going to make it. We're going to make both of those, trend. Julie is in. It's called A Novel Noel. And she she goes to Maine. I think it's Maine. And for a month, she has to run a bookstore. And I forget why she has to do it. It says she won it. I don't know what exactly that means. I forget what she's in. And she's kind of sort of like, what is the word? Not what is it? Disenchanted, or I don't know. She's kind of like, you know what I mean? And she finds her creative flow by doing this. So Brendan Penny is her lead, which is cool. Get Chris and Lindsay to discuss. Nikki, I will not ask Chris to come on for that movie. I did ask Lindsay. I've already put in, I got all my media stuff. I've been looking when all of it came through. I've been looking, I've been putting in. We'll see, because they don't do those lives and promote as much because Hallmark doesn't, because there's so many of them. But I did not ask for Chris to come on for that movie. And I have my reasons why I didn't. It's nothing negative. It's just strategic. And I would rather, if he does come on, his time is limited. And if he does, it would be later so that we could talk about a lot of things, not before. But I did ask for Lindsay, which I think would be fun. I met Jess Brown, who plays the sister to Aaron's character, in a restaurant in Vancouver. How cool is that? Yes. Yep. A novel idea is Julie's. Yes, it is. You are welcome. She is awesome, Roxanne. So down to earth. Oh, I love that. Yay. Would love for you to interview Julie. So would I, Teresa. So would I. You would hope there would be a Facebook Live with Chris and Lindsay? Here's the thing. There are 3 movies. 3 movies that premiere. And there's a fourth when you consider the other channel. And I don't know how they would do Facebook Lives for all those people. That's the thing. I don't remember them ever really doing a Facebook Live, except did they do a Facebook Live for last season because it was such a big deal? They were under, were they still under? I think they may have still been under that whole, they couldn't, the strike and stuff. But they don't normally do it because there's just too many. But that's okay, because then all these other people who run podcasts and do interviews can. So who knows? We'll see. They did for Tip Line. Nikki, I don't know what you mean. We're talking about Christmas movies. And because there's so many of them, that's why they don't do them. What do you mean by they did for Tip Line? A Facebook Live? Sure, because that's a movie or a movie or a series. Yes. But when it's Christmas time, there's so many that are premiering at one time. They don't do it, because you would have to think that's 3 Facebook Lives they would have to. There's a lot going on. Yeah. So I don't think that they will. But I could be wrong. All right, friends. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you later. All right, next week. Or wait, go watch the Chicken Sisters. It's Thursday. There's a new episode on. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. I cannot wait to see what happened. Oh boy, it was steamy and spicy, and they say bad words. And they have storylines that we're not used to. Okay, check it out. All right, good night.